Let's settle in for a story that's just perfect for this time of year. It's a tale about more than just the cold. It's about the unseen warmth that can find us in our darkest moments. It's a story about guardianship, loss, and the quiet, powerful magic of kindness. And that line right there, well, that's what this whole story is about. It's a promise, really. A promise that even when things feel their coldest, the connections between us, and maybe even between worlds, can create a warmth that truly matters. So our story begins in a home that's, well, it's lost its light. And in that home, we meet a grieving family and a protector they don't even know exists. Okay, so picture this, a tired old apartment. This is home for little 6-year-old Chalet and her dad, who's working around the clock just to make ends meet. But here's the thing, they're not really alone. There's someone else there, a silent resident, watching over them from the shadows. So, who is this unseen tenant? Well, it's a Dijizu, which translates to a foundation spirit. In a lot of East Asian cultures, this is a kind of household deity, a spirit that's bound to the house itself, and its whole job, to protect the family living inside. You could almost think of it as the soul of the home. Our guardian here, he calls himself Lao Di, and he's been at this for a while, 50 years in fact. He kind of looks like a friendly retired shopkeeper. He's seen a lot, but what he misses most these days is the simple offering of chicken rice that the family's mother used to leave out for him. You see, everything changed 3 months ago when the mother passed away suddenly. The apartment, which used to be filled with laughter and the smell of food, it's now just cold and silent. There's a layer of dust on everything that feels just as heavy as their grief. And to top it all off, tomorrow is Dongzhi, the winter solstice. It's supposed to be a time for family to gather, you know? It's the longest night of the year, but it also marks the moment the sun starts to return. For this family, though, it just feels like the beginning of an even deeper cold. Watching all this quiet suffering, our guardian spirit, Lao Di, he just can't stand by and do nothing anymore. He decides it's time to step in, even if it means bending the rules of the spirit world a little bit. And this is his breaking point. He sees a little Chalet just huddled on the couch, and he can feel her sadness. He knows his job is to protect this home, and that means protecting the hearts of the people inside it too. Now, he can't just magically fix everything. His power is more subtle. It's about influencing thoughts, nudging feelings. So he comes up with a 3-part plan. First, get a little help from a higher up. Second, plant an idea in a neighbor's mind. And third, use his own energy to offer some direct comfort. And this, right here, is where the magic really starts to happen. We get to see how these small, spiritual nudges kick off this beautiful chain reaction in the real world. First up, he pays a visit to the local land god, another deity, and basically asks for a huge favor. He needs him to create a little hint for the father's boss, anything, that will let him get off his delivery job early. The land god feels for the little girl, so he agrees to help out. Next on his list is the neighbor next door, Wang Dama. She's a good person, just distracted. So Lao Di whispers a little suggestion into the air, jogging her memory. Suddenly, she remembers it's the winter solstice, and her thoughts immediately go to that poor little girl and her father next door. The seed has been planted. And for his final act, he returns to the apartment. Xiaolei is asleep on the sofa, shivering. So Lao Di gathers all of his spiritual energy and wraps it around her like a warm, invisible blanket. It takes a lot out of him, but he does it just to give her a single moment of peace and comfort. Okay, so all the pieces are now in place. The divine hint, the neighborly nudge, the guardian's warmth, and we're about to see it all come together in one perfect, beautiful moment. Just as Shala wakes up from her warm little nap, the doorbell rings. And there's Wang Dama, holding 2 huge steaming bowls of tang yuan, those sweet rice balls that people eat on the solstice. It's the first real warmth, the first act of kindness that Shala has felt in months. And get this, at that exact moment, across town, the father's phone buzzes. It's a message from his company. Bad weather's coming in, so all drivers can go home early. This never happens. It's an unbelievable piece of luck. Or, as we know, a little help from the land god. So when the father finally walks through that door carrying bags of groceries, he doesn't find a cold, dark apartment. He finds his daughter smiling with a hot bowl of food. He just rushes to her, so relieved, apologizing for being late even though he's home earlier than he's been in months. For the first time in a very long time, the home was finally warm again. That heavy chill of grief was broken, all thanks to a hot meal, a father's hug, and a neighbor's kindness. A chain reaction started by a guardian they couldn't even see. But wait, the story isn't quite over yet. The ending brings everything together, not just for the family, but for the worlds of the living and the spirits too. As the father and daughter are sharing their first happy meal together in ages, Laudi feels a presence next to him. It's the mother's spirit, this gentle, shimmering light. She's come to thank him, to tell him that because of him, she knows her family is cared for, and now she can finally rest in peace. Later that night, all the strange, lucky things that happened that day, they get the father thinking. He remembers the small, dusty shrine his wife used to keep. He cleans it off, and for the very first time, he places a bowl of TAIWAN in front of it, a thank you to the DGJU for protecting them. For Lao Di, this small gesture, it's the greatest reward he could ever imagine. And that's really what this story reminds us of, isn't it? The darkest day of the year isn't the end, it's the turning point. It's the moment when the light begins its slow, steady journey back into the world. And in the same way, sometimes a small act of kindness is all it takes to signal the return of hope. So that leaves us with one final thought. Whether you believe in foundation spirits or not, maybe there's a Laudine in every home. A quiet, protective love from our friends, our family, our neighbors. Something that surrounds us, often unseen, but is always, always there.